the Q&A starts now.
The Q&A starts.
Are we doing a video to it too? Welcome back, everyone. I'm with Dawn again from The Middle Mom. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. That was perfect. My guest today is Dawn from The Middle Mom.
My guest today. Well, hey, I'm Darcy, and if we haven't met before, I'm married to Joe, and we have 10 children, ages 6 to 26. Right? First date, that was pretty good.
Okay, so I actually found out about Darcy from my mom, she's watched all of your videos probably multiple times.
Oh, no.
I've since gone back and watched
I'm so
them all
sorry.
too. So she would have loved to be here today, and I said next time my mom is coming with. And you were kind of like, well, you should send your mom. Why'd you come?
Or this time she could have come. That would have been fun.
I know. Next time I'll bring Mom. You can come with next time. And so, but she sent me with some questions. So I'm gonna ask Darcy a few questions. If you have other questions, leave them in the comments because your frequently asked question videos are so fun, and especially if you do them with Joe.
Yeah.
Like we love you. We love Joe too. You guys interact so
he
well
likes
together.
the Q&As. He does.
Okay, so I have questions. So one of the first questions is, when you're sitting in front of the white wall doing your videos, where are you sitting?
Okay, I'm gonna reference my house tour. If you go back in the beginning, when you first walk in, I sit in that hallway to the left, just against that wall right there, because that gets the most light, I guess. Well, I sit here and I sit there.
Yeah.
So that's the wall I sit down when everyone sees me sitting against the wall. That's the hallway. That's my front hall when you first walk in. And then where I'm sitting here is the room when you first walk in. Immediately to the right, that's the room we're in right now. So.
That's awesome.
This is really a furnished room. It's got like leftover, all this furniture in here is leaving.
So have you guys decided where you're moving to yet?
Everyone keeps asking this. Okay, so it's.
Will you share where you have it narrowed down to?
Okay.
Or you're afraid people are gonna like lock you into it.
Right.
If you don't move
That's
there.
how I
like,
feel. Like
we're gonna get mad and unsubscribe.
Why are you moving to Alaska when you said you're moving to Hawaii? You know, that's how I feel. So.
If you had to choose today, though, what would be like your top 3?
So the 3 states we've been looking at, it used to be 2, but now it's 3 because Joe's been looking at Missouri more. It's Indiana, Missouri, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin is probably the least. Indiana is probably the first.
So there's no chance for Minnesota.
Well,
I'm trying.
What was it about Minnesota? There was something about. There's something about each state. Like
cold.
I had
It is cold.
like a spreadsheet of it.
Minnesota.
Well, that's definitely one of the reasons.
Okay, so question number 3: will the kids? You mentioned in your last video that you have your 9 kids at home, 4 adults, 5 of your 10 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So are all of the kids gonna move with you?
Right now, yes. That might change next year, but right now, yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
And we're happy to have them all come. So
yeah.
To add another question to that, somebody asked me, do they get a say? It's a good question. I was surprised by the question, but it's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. They would like to pay for what we pay to live here?
Yeah.
Sure. We're shooting for early spring. That's when we'd like to go because I don't think any of us want to move in the snow.
No. So are you gonna like later this winter like go travel to some of the places that you're thinking about?
Yes.
Kind of scope them out?
Yes.
All right, why don't you have an Instant Pot?
Okay. I don't know what an Instant Pot was. When you said Instapod, I thought you said Instapot. So I didn't even, I'm like, oh, what is that something new? Is that something on Instagram? Like, no, I don't know. I've never had an Instant Pot. My mother never had an Instant Pot. My mother-in-law doesn't have an Instant Pot. And my mother-in-law is like the queen of cooking. Like she, oh my goodness.
So she didn't need one, you don't need one.
Right, like she didn't have it, so I guess I don't have it. No specific reason. I'm not against it. I just don't have one.
Darcy makes a lot of chicken broth, like weekly, right?
Oh yeah.
You used to make yogurt. You said you don't make it as much anymore.
But because the crock pot broke.
Okay.
So we stopped, but we're going back to it.
You can make yogurt and like, it's so easy.
That's what I've heard.
Broth
that is
and,
what I've heard.
All right, so I just want you to think about it.
I'm thinking.
Okay, why don't you shop at Aldi? That's my mom and I's favorite grocery store.
Again, I have nothing against Aldi. I'm sure it's great. I don't know what Aldi has. I don't think I've ever been in an Aldi.
So it's
you
different.
gotta pay for the bags.
My
and
grocery
you gotta
store.
pay for the bags, and you gotta pay for the cart too.
Pay for the bags too.
My kids are like, it's $10 a cart. It's like 25 cents a cart.
It's a quarter a cart.
So my grocery store has so many things that most grocery stores don't carry.
Okay.
So I don't know if does Aldi carry?
I mean, I can't get everything.
Does it carry
there.
frozen fresh salmon? Like not wild caught frozen salmon? Does it carry, like, these are things,
Like
it's crazy the things that,
steak.
That's good.
does it carry the grass-fed, GMO-free steak and ground beef and all that stuff? Because I can't find that. Okay.
Right.
I've told the people that watch, I can't afford all the produce organic, but I won't with the meat. I'm very careful with the meat.
Okay.
I know it's all important.
I would say
You gotta pick and
produce is
choose.
where I save the most money at all.
Okay.
So-
but there's a lot of things at our grocery store. Our grocery store is it's a small chain, but it has such a huge variety of non-GMO, a lot organic. We have a local farmer, like 20 minutes down the road. He sells his honey. There's a lot at our local grocery store that you wouldn't get, I'm guessing, because I've never been there. Now I'm gonna go there, now that Dawn mentioned
We do a
it.
video about it?
I will, okay, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Just try it. Just try it. You don't have to, you know, commit to it, but
No, I'll do it. I'll pay the quarter.
I'll give you a quarter before I go.
I'll pay the bags.
Right.
We'll get our own bags.
Right.
Bring your own baby. Should we show over our new
need
shirts?
some
Because if you've watched our wardrobe videos,
People know what I
you're
wear,
not gonna
so-
see these shirts in them.
They're probably wondering, what is she wearing? She never wears that. I just got this. This is for Dawn.
Yep,
This was
and
special.
this is for Darci. Because I felt like I should wear all black when I come to your house.
You have any black clothing?
Yeah, I don't think you normally do, right?
I
No,
don't
you don't
need it.
normally.
I don't mind black, but I like color.
I just feel comfortable in this, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Plain.
Okay, so you've been doing your debt-free journey, which is awesome.
Yeah,
and
that
very
started in January.
inspiring and well done. I'm gonna link some of your debt-free videos,
okay,
my
thank
favorites,
you.
below, because truly, especially I know the New Year's coming up, and so a lot of us make, you know, resolutions around that time of year to get our debt under control. So if you need some inspiration, follow Darci's debt-free journey, because you're so real and honest about it. Okay, so a question about that then. As you're looking at your debt, you're trying to get out of debt, did you ever feel like you needed to cut back on buying, you know, organic produce? Because that's what I've struggled with a lot, is like, I would like to spend more to have, you know, higher quality foods in our house, but then the sticker shock, you know, all the time, like, oh my god, it's like.
So the first 2 months when I started the budget, I still bought what I buy organic. I still bought the things I did buy organic, but it was a lot less.
Okay.
You know, like, unfortunately, and this is sad, but produce is the most expensive of what we buy. We mainly buy produce. So I stuck with the rice and the oats, and you know, you don't feel as good when you eat produce, you feel a lot better. But our food is what I think was affected the most when we first started out. And we were paying the minimum on everything, so I didn't know what else to cut.
Where else to cut? Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what most people do. They cut their food bill, and it wasn't like we weren't starving. It wasn't like that at all. We were well fed. We're back up though. After we started, you know, catching our breath, whatever you want to call it, I put the food budget into place. I said, we got to get this going. And I finally figured out a way to food budget and stay within the budget. It fluctuates, of course. Food always does. But I can breathe. I don't feel like, oh my goodness, I don't want to go shopping. I don't know how much I'm going to spend. I finally can breathe with this food budget. And
well, and I actually did a video on meal planning, because I know you had talked about like really simplifying your meal rotation, and that's what I had gone towards too. And so I found that once I simplified my meal selection and I got it out of my head that I didn't have to make everyone's favorite meal every night, everyone didn't have to rave about it, then it was way easier to know what we were going to spend each week. I wasn't trying new recipes, which often then you have to buy different ingredients and cost more money.
Right.
And so that made a huge difference for us being able to kind of know what we're going to spend each week on food, and to be able to, and I realized I could afford better food then.
My question to you is, how did you find minimalism?
I listened to a podcast by Joshua Becker, Becoming Minimalist, and the story is just like, he was cleaning his garage, his neighbor came by and basically said, you know, you don't have to have all that stuff. And like when he said that, like, you know, you don't have to have all that stuff, I'm like looking around my messy office and I'm like, I don't have to have all this stuff? Like, really? Like, and that's all I needed was like someone to give me permission. And so then I just kind of, it took like a year, but I just started like getting rid of stuff. And Tom didn't care. He would have liked our house to be cleaner just because it's how he's wired. He functions better in a clean space. He wasn't like getting down on my housekeeping. It was just like, at the end of the day, if he had his preference, you know, he loved having the house clean. And so I couldn't do it with 4 kids. It was nearly impossible. And so I'm like, well, if I get rid of all the stuff, it's easier to keep clean. And it is, and we haven't missed any of it. And so it's been awesome.
So my next question is, how did you begin implementing that, and what does minimalism look like for you in your life? Because you know how minimalism looks different for everybody.
Absolutely.
Like you have me, the empty house.
Yep.
Dawn's house isn't empty. But how does it look like for you?
Right. So to do it, I did like the onion method, like where you just kind of go through each room, take a few things out at a time. And then like every time I go back through, I'm like, oh, there's even more stuff here, you know? And it's kind of a brain shift. And it gets easier, like start doing it and it gets easier. How I look at things is like, do I use it? But then from there, it's like, but could I get by without it? You know? So I'm like, if I can live with one spatula, that's awesome.
Right.
Because my sink is not full of spatulas and extra pots and pans. Like we have 3 pots and pans because I have 3 burners that work on my stove.
That's fantastic.
Like, literally,
that's a smart way of thinking. You're not going to use more than that because you only have 3 burners.
I
like
can literally
that.
only like, and I have a stock pot like in the basement, but I have to go down to the basement and get it. So I'm not gonna just pull it out because I'm being too lazy to wash my other pot. You know what I mean? Like if I need another pot, I'll get it or I'll call my mom. You know, like
The lamp.
right? Like, so that became my filter. It started out of like if we use it, but then from there it went to like, but could I get by without it?
I like that.
It's awesome. Like, you know, like living more simply. I think we're all kind of drawn to it. We don't know how to get there all the time, but that's why you hang out with us and then we help you.
We try.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most important things with minimalism, and Dawn, you're welcome to disagree, is that it doesn't look the same on everyone.
Right.
Somebody said, what type of minimalist are you? If I didn't have a family, I'd probably be one of the extreme minimalists because I could get rid of everything. I could live with pretty much, I'd be fine. I'd be happy with nothing. If the house burned down, what would you grab?
Yeah, my hard drive would probably be the only
Would
thing.
you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even grab that.
Okay.
I wouldn't even grab, I mean, a phone so I could call someone to tell them I'm okay. And it didn't even need to be my phone. Yeah, I don't have enough anything on my phone. Like, that is how minimal I am. But if you are minimal to the point where you just get rid of your clutter, but you still have a lot around you, that's fine too. I think what's important is we can learn from each other. I'm still learning from other people.
Right, totally.
I think I get rid of everything, but I'm like, somebody will say, oh, but I wear this, or I do that. Oh, that's a fantastic idea.
Right.
I'm gonna do that, you know? So life is a constant journey of learning.
Absolutely.
And I don't think minimalism is just fit into a shoebox.
Well, if you have any other questions for either of us, leave them in the comments because I'm sure there'll be more frequently asked question videos. So we'd love you and Joe can tackle them.
And we'll do our best to answer.
Yeah, we'll try.
That's it, we're done.
That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. If you haven't already, please subscribe and I'll see you on the flip side.